Welcome back to another episode of Certified McNasty. I am one of your co-hosts, Matt McNasty, alongside
Jason Adler. Good to be here.
And in the third seat today, we have Patrick, producer Patrick, with his nice epic hat on, great cargo pants. I haven't seen cargo pants in quite some time, but I guess we have cargo pants today. Can hold a lot of stuff in those pockets.
I do.
Amazing.
Certified.
How are you? Good?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's like I'm just excited to be back in the chair here.
I know,
with you.
right? We're getting a little momentum going. Good weekend?
Yeah, it was a good weekend. A lot happened.
Yeah,
with the Daytona,
yeah,
Holly Hill.
Get right into it. The last tournament of the year, which is crazy because literally 4 days before Christmas, there's still another event on the calendar of the PPA, which is kind of unlike any other professional sport other than basketball, football. The team sports, the individual sports usually end November, but pickleball, we go all year long.
So a lot of events, and it showed too because a lot of people fulfilled their contract.
Yep, and
so
didn't
you
show up.
Quite have a full, roster, but it doesn't take anything away from the winners. It's just people are exhausted. They're traveling.
Yeah, it wasn't a full menu of talent there, and then some of the players like
it's a creepy menu of talent. Creepy.
It's not creepy.
Okay.
I mean, I'm good with my words. Okay. I find words and I use them. Just like Patrick has cargo pants on. He finds pants in the closet and puts them on. So the match I watched first was Gabe Joseph and Chris Hayworth. First of all, Calabasas, I don't know what they're putting in the water there because you have Roscoe Bellamy, who wins his first gold medal this year and is playing unbelievable. Friend of the pod, of course. And then Gabe Joseph, one of his practice partners, also at Calabasas in that area. Something's going on in the water in California because we have the best singles players in the world. But Gabe going for his first title, coming up against the Buzzsaw and Chris Hayworth. Just a little bit, for me, in watching the match, Hayworth just, first of all, he's the bigger player of the two.
But that's never been a problem for Gabe.
No, but you would think that it's Hayworth that's going to impose himself and come forward to the kitchen line, not having to happen. It's Gabe that has to do that. But then you're playing right into Hayworth's strengths, which are the passing shots, and he played unbelievable. I mean, it was a rout. It was not even close.
It's the same with Roscoe, too. Roscoe's a bigger guy, and he can hang on the baseline.
Yep.
So damn if you do, damn if you don't. Like, if you're going to hang on the baseline with these big guys, it's going to be tough to win. But if you go up, they're going to find that passing shot. So
yeah. I mean,
side note, real quick,
yeah.
I just want to say personal shout out to Gabe. He's my first guy I got a singles lesson from.
Okay.
Back in the day. So he's just an unbelievable guy. And we were rooting for him, and he's won plenty, and he knocks on the door a lot. And
he's a legitimate top 5, 6 to 8 guy in the world in singles. Obviously, you had some players not in attendance in Holly Hill this week, but it's Hayworth to me though. If we go back on Hayworth, I think he's going to be your new number 1 in 2026. Just like I made a call at the beginning of 25
I'm taking Roscoe.
Great. I think Hayworth's going to be more consistent. I think the movement patterns are there, the margins are there.
Jet lefty,
the serve is massive, although Roscoe's serve arguably bigger. I think Hayworth's movement's a little bit better. So we'll see. Roscoe did come on very strong end of 25. All signs are pointing to him having a great 26. So.
Look, the bottom line is singles is still here to stay. It's still a great event to watch. And do you think in general the singles game today is more entertaining and better than it was 2 years ago?
100, without a doubt.
Okay.
Without a doubt. And a lot of that has to do with the lifetime ball, the new technology, some better camera angles as well showing it. But all of that has made the athleticism needed to play singles at a higher level, which then you're just seeing an overall higher level of point over and over again.
It's more tennis-y, it's
way more tennis-like. You can't, and that's why Ben Johns, who had the cat and mouse game, is not top 10 in the world, and won't be for a little bit. So
you need the two-y drive.
You need to.
You absolutely need it.
I do want to switch to the women's singles.
Okay.
Quickly touch on that. Catherine Parenteau winning. Getting her first title since 2023. Good for her.
Yeah.
Played great, winning over Katarina Stewart. Are you familiar with Katarina Stewart from tennis?
She was the 40 seed, right? I've heard of her, but I'm not too familiar with her.
Big-time tennis player, phenomenal junior, touted as one of the up-and-coming, should have been a top 50 WTA player in the world.
Wow.
Got to around 100-something in the world in tennis. Very, very good athlete, crazy athlete. Someone to watch, and it's going to be scary going into next year. That's a player athletically that could probably compete with an Anna Leigh. So didn't get it done yet, but she's very new to the sport. And again, so the Johnsons, by the way,
J-Dub and Georgia.
J-Dub, Georgia, they kind of swept everything else.
They cleaned up.
All the other disciplines, winning mixed doubles, each winning their own gender doubles.
I love Georgia. Her energy.
Yeah, she's unbelievable. Both of them together, such fast hands.
Well, and also they're such a, interesting dynamic because J-Dub is so quiet and chill, and she gets fired up and yelling and after every point.
Yeah.
So they're opposites in that way.
100%, and they need each other in that capacity. I think Georgia can probably get too high. JW can get too neutral, and she needs someone to at least drive the ship a little bit emotionally. The hand speed, way too good for not necessarily a Diascu, but you saw Caitlin Christian, while heavily improved, obviously, I would say most improved on the singles court this year of anybody. Caitlin Christian, for the last 6 months, very
Even more than
improved
Jeannie?
in doubles.
Oh, just doubles you're talking?
Jeannie, very
Jeannie
improved as well,
yeah,
for sure. The top two and the most improved. Thanks for cutting me off on when I had a really good rhythm going.
Good analysts can get right back to it.
A good analyst would, but I'm not a good analyst. No, so where was I?
You were saying
Jesus,
Caitlin and Diascu.
Jeannie. I mean, just let me go with Caitlin Christian.
Hands.
No, so it was clear in that final that Caitlin Christian was the weak link. Okay. I mean, which is wild in the other matches that either Caitlin played at a higher level or Andre was able to take more court, or JW and Georgia are just that good that they can isolate someone. Andre barely saw balls. It would be like any of our matchups against Doug Ellen. The other person's not seeing a ball. Caitlin saw 90% of the balls, and it was clear she didn't have the hand speed or the wherewithal to get out of that. That is not saying anything that she's not a great player, because her improvement, even on the doubles court, is crazy. And I think that showed this week, and getting players like Diascu showed that she's going to be a good player. But then when you get to that upper echelon, the Georgia Johnsons, JW, they're gonna any weaknesses you have, they are going to find it quick.
Do you find that to be an annoying part of the sport, though, where you can isolate to that degree? Like, can't Diascu just creep way over and dare them to go to his backhand?
The problem is that at that highest level, Diascu, you would need to move like a Ben Johns. You would need to have a great two-handed backhand like a Hayden Patrick. But the highest level, it's not even, okay, what can I do? It's what can JW and Georgia do to then affect me and my movement. They're too good where you can't cover 80% and expect to come back and do it with any type of efficiency.
What should Caitlin work on then to be able to kind of offset
it's the hand speed. I think she's a little bit too long on the counters, right? Everything is taking her a long time to set up, so she's not compact enough. Yeah, okay. 100%. And she hasn't seen that type of, in a final on a championship Sunday against these one or two teams in the world. She hasn't seen that. This is her first championship Sunday in mixed doubles. So there's nerves, I'm sure.
Yeah.
She wants to make sure that Diascu's happy and that she gets these partnerships moving forward. And you're playing a team that's taken out Ben and Anna Leigh before, right? This is the cream of the crop, and it takes time. She's going to have to get there over and over again to figure that out. But kudos to her, because I think that was a great week. Georgia played great with Anna Leigh in the final. They won. JW winning with Augie Guh.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about that, because that was I believe the longest finals match in the history of the PPA.
What did you think of that one?
So, and I actually watched most of that. I thought it was, first of all, it's just weird not seeing Ben or Hayden, or, it was new faces, right? Khalif, I haven't watched him this much, but he was a beast. Riley knocking on the door. I thought there were a lot of interesting storylines, and it really came down to, and I'm not going to take credit for this idea, it was Fleming, but it was, the variables were Guh or Khalif. Like, you knew what you were getting from Riley, and you knew what you were getting from J-Dub, right? And so they kept it away from J-Dub as much as they could. But it was really a volatile ride. Like, you could see the nerves getting to Augie. You could not so much getting to Khalif, but it was really like, how was Augie going to do?
Right.
And he ended up coming through.
I mean, Augie's normally that consistent, solid guy. Like, you know what you're going to get with him.
But first gold medal match.
But he's on the Dallas Flash as well with JW, so they have that
chemistry,
that camaraderie. They've played together a million times before. Yeah, it's interesting. And to your point before, is it annoying that in pickleball you can isolate a certain side or get to a certain side, but it makes those types of matchups in the final, you know who you're going to have to rely on. Like the weakest player, you have whichever team's weakest player can play at a higher level, that's who's going to win that match. And it kind of sucks because as the alpha or the stronger player, maybe you don't have as much say in the matches you'd like at times.
Is crazy.
But that's why it's like an ultimate team sport. Yep. It's not singles. It's not, you can't just take the ball and run it down the hole yourself. You can't be a quarterback and throw the game-winning pass.
You can't really take over.
You can't. I mean, to a certain extent, sure, but when you're getting to the highest levels, everyone on that court needs to participate and come up with the goods. I think the most underrated aspect of pickleball is to impose yourself physically and take up space when the ball isn't coming to you, and being in a position where, okay, you're taking up space without having to hit the ball. And it's all about shrinking the court. There's a lot of people that they're not in the point,
they disengage.
And you feel them not in the point. You're not afraid of where their paddle position are and where they're shrinking it for you. So huge part of it is moving without the ball, being engaged, being ready.
It's almost like a decoy in the NFL. Like sometimes that receiver, a DK Metcalf, who just punched a guy, by the way, a fan.
That was insane.
But like they're just running out there, and now you got to keep your eyes on them. Even if they know they're not getting the ball, they're running that route, keeping double coverage, whatever.
Right.
If you're not engaged, the opponents are going to see that and maybe find they can get away with more.
I totally agree.
And also, we all have those friends who, they get a little disengaged, or
For sure.
I'm not getting enough balls, and
For
it affects everything, because then you want to get them more involved, or you feel like they're not enjoying them, even at a rec level.
100%. Well, the rec level is the hardest because there's nothing on the line,
right?
And in a tournament, you'd expect someone to be engaged until the match is over. It's very rare that they're going to just check out. But in rec is the most frustrating because maybe one person's really into it and wanting to create space and time, and the other is just like, I want to get a sweat today.
There's some people who really care about rec scores, though, and they want everybody engaged the whole time. And it is tough if you're not getting enough balls. But anyway, that was good.
That was good wrap results. Up on the PPA final event of the year. But let's get into our next segment, which is the Certified McNasty Take of the Week.
Let's get to it.
And you and I, we spent our wonderful Sunday together, curled up on a couch. We didn't curl up on a couch together. That didn't happen. But we were next to each other. Jason brought snacks. He called me before and was like, do you want Twizzlers? Do you want candy? I'm obviously in my shredded era.
Protein, bro.
I go protein, bro. And what did you bring?
Beef jerky.
I was. It's still in my place. I actually haven't touched it yet. But the reason you came over was because we knew we were filming this today, and we wanted to watch the Lifetime movie, the holiday movie of the year, which was a Pickleball Christmas. Lifetime every year, as many of our listeners know, has a Christmas movie.
Okay.
And normally it's about, a girl from the big city who comes back to her country home and finds the guy who's the country bumpkin who helps her out to do something, and there's some type of controversy and they figure it out together, and the big city girl likes the country guy and they live happily ever after.
He just described like Sweet Home Alabama or something.
And that's normally a Lifetime movie.
Right.
This year, which the pickleball world was all interested in, was James Lafferty was the main character, and Luke Hollis, I believe, was his name in the film yesterday.
Right.
Luke Hollis
and Letts
and Letts was something Letts.
What's a weird last name?
Weird last name, but tennis Letts, right? Letts. That's why they do it. So Let's or whatever. Wins his last tennis match of the year. Pro tennis player wins the Lisbon Open. He's in his early 30s. Decides, I've had enough with tennis. It's lonely on the road. I want to come back to my hometown.
Abruptly, just
South Florida, and I'm going to take over my parents and my home tennis club that I grew up in.
Yeah, I mean, I have so many thoughts, and I just want to say, like, and with all due respect to the people who made the movie and the director, who was a pickleball player, someone I've come across.
That's what you said. Yeah, you said you know him.
Nice guy. Yeah. So please take this with a grain of salt. But I thought everything from the writing to the wardrobe to the hair and makeup to the lighting to the acting. I mean, the acting was fine. You can only do so much with the writing, but I just felt like it was heavy-handed. 5 minutes in, they're hitting us with the inciting incident, which is like the stakes of the movie. You gotta establish
the developers. The big bad developers are here, and they're gonna take our club if we can't get money.
How many times did I say what was gonna happen before it happened?
That was actually so impressive. He knows the formula of a Lifetime movie. He goes, "Oh, there's gonna be the proposal here. This is gonna happen here. They're gonna bang in the closet here." I mean, you knew.
I mean, it was so heavy-handed, and it was just like even the casting.
It was awful.
The four people, the main characters of the movie, the sister, the main character, the parents. None of them looked alike. None of them made sense. Like they came from an athletic family.
Correct.
And I just think those are details that matter. There were a couple funny moments, though.
There were.
What do you think?
So the actual McNasty take of the week here for this movie is that why the hell didn't they consult anyone that knew anything about either tennis or pickleball? And I don't want to name names of who could have been the perfect consultant for that because the Dink movie didn't call me up either. But first scene, he wins the Lisbon Open, which is like ridiculous, and the court. The net, it's a temporary pickleball net that they're showing, which is out of control. How low budget. You couldn't find a tennis club.
Balls were like straight out of Costco, like indoor balls.
Awful. Well, you're now talking pickleball when I was talking tennis for the opening, which is fine. You know, you're not always on the same path. Follow. So then they go into the press conference. Remember the opening scene. Yeah. He's in the press conference announcing that he's going to step away from tennis. Okay.
I remember.
And he has this trophy that looks like a metal serving dish.
No, that you put ice cube, like that you put your drinks in at a party.
Correct.
It was like a tin.
Like you would see it right next to an elevator at a hotel.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, oh, where's this?
A frat party.
It's horrendous. The funniest moment of the movie came at the end when his nemesis, who he talks about the nemesis the entire time. You meet him the last 10 minutes. The nemesis doesn't really matter besides this last match, which was horrendous. And he makes the funniest joke about the cars, well,
because he's a car dealership guy, so you see a couple promos, but then he gives a nice line where he's like, "Come on, that's how you do it, and I can get you in a car in 2 seconds."
It was incredible. He hits a winner and then goes, it's like
to the crowd,
and the crowd surrounding the court, they were all. And
baskets behind the baseline.
The level, James Lafferty. First of all,
laughable.
The guy is ripped out of his mind. That was your thing. You're like, he could be a pro athlete.
I said the one thing I'll say is he looks like a professional athlete.
He does, but his level of athleticism clearly was. I don't think he's ever done any type of sport in his life.
You go, he's too vascular.
He's too vascular to be a pro tennis player.
From McNasty.
There's no tennis players that are that.
He played basketball though in One Tree Hill, right?
One Tree Hill. Did he do well?
I'd like to see the basketball footage because
his coordination is not there.
You can tell if an athlete how athletic someone is from footwork. On racket sports, eye hand, and basketball footwork. He was. I mean, the way they were bending, the way they were, and she's teaching him about the kitchen. Never says no volley zone.
Okay, but I haven't seen the movie, so I got intrigued because you set up the movie.
Okay, this is how it goes. He gets back to the club and he's staying at home with his folks and his sister, who's a writer who hasn't followed her dreams and all of this
terrible
stuff.
On her too.
Yeah, and she has a bald spot in the front of her head. It's a whole.
Her hair was a mess.
Her hair was a mess, and. They're saying the only way to save this club, or one of the ways besides the GoFundMe and some of his money that he's made on tour, is this big pickleball event right before Christmas is going to have enough entrants and enough money. And if they can get enough sponsors and
they're going to live stream it.
They're going to live stream it with Pick TV, which is Pickleball TV. Okay. And but he needs to play in it and win it to really get more sponsors and to get interest going. And that's going to be a way that they save this club.
May I just real quick?
Yeah, of course.
The other thing is that they're shoving these stakes of what the movie's about within, again, 5-6 minutes, which is too early. You didn't have time to have an arc of any of these characters, but they're having trouble. The club, they're struggling for money. They don't tell their son, the main character. He has no idea because he's always traveling to tennis tournaments.
He's too busy focused on himself.
Winning majors. Yeah. And yet he also has this dream of taking over the club and running a tennis academy. Never expressed that to them.
Right. Well, and it's laughable because let's think about Alcaraz, or I guess this guy hasn't won a major yet. But he's like a top 10 guy. So let's call him Taylor Fritz, an American, right?
Sure.
Top 6 in the world, on the cusp, just hasn't quite won the major, but making a lot of money in the public eye.
Yeah.
He comes back to this club. No one cares that he's there. No one even knows him. No autograph. Like, he just drives up in his car. Like, the only thing that showed he had money the whole time was that he was driving a nice Beamer.
It was rental too. It was like he came from the airport. You know, you could tell. It just felt like a rental.
Right. The red interior. It was a weird.
Everything about it.
But so he comes and he's this pro athlete tennis player, and is then being taught pickleball by Miss Letts, who barely can hold the paddle.
Who went to Cornell.
Yeah, she said she went to Cornell on a tennis scholarship, but left because her father
had ALS.
Yes.
That's sad.
Was it her mother or father?
Father.
100%?
No.
I think it was her mother.
You might have been sleeping, though, so I'm going to say I'm 50-50.
So
Matt fell asleep a couple times.
It was all of these just generic, like, I could have written this.
Yeah, no, that's what it felt like. And again, I'm not trying to insult people, but if you're going to put a movie out, I mean, I think the budget had to be at least $1 million.
And they didn't consult anyone. So Patrick, to your point, when they get to the pickleball court, I guess if you're at a racket club and you're converting courts, maybe you don't have permanent nets yet. You have temporary,
tape
which they had. Great. But then you have a basket of balls, of multicolored balls. Some are indoor, some are outdoor. Like, that part,
the paddles.
That was the paddles. No branding anywhere. Okay, no branding anywhere. Awful
like
old
paddles.
Worse.
Yeah,
worse.
Like promotional paddles that are made of cardboard.
And the clothes horrible. So low budget they wouldn't show any type of advertising on anyone's bag. So he's coming in with his tennis bag, which I don't know why he didn't have a pickleball bag, but I guess because he's a tennis player. Legitimate duct tape over the bag in the film. It's not like they're trying to like make it into design. It is just duct tape over the bag. And there was no growth in his pickleball game.
None.
Like, it would be great if he like couldn't make a dink and then is coming up to the kitchen line hitting like a dope roll. He was the same all the way through. They were both terrible the entire time. The level at the end, the final match. So they get to this final match. First of all, there's a period where she's angry at him because he was talking to developers and she overheard a conversation saying that it was going to be a champions academy and that he was going to get rid of pickleball.
Turn everything into tennis
But then
courts.
she left after that, and he was going to give her a gift that they were going to run the club together, and he was going to actually build more pickleball courts. Half and half. It was going to be the Letts Hollis Academy, and it was going to be pickleball and tennis, but she left before she could hear that part. But then when they get to the final match, they're down in the final match. Then
she's hitting balls off to the side.
Yeah, she's just completely tanking.
Not even trying.
And then he's like, "Oh, we got to talk." Like,
they're playing mixed.
They're playing mixed, and they're in the final, and they're
his
down.
Old nemesis, who he never beat in tennis.
Right, and they're down big, and she's throwing the match because she thinks that even if they win, the club's going to be all tennis, and she's going to be out of a job. So he goes, "I need to talk to you." Like,
One game to 11 by 2.
So they go to the shed where they used to have some relations.
10 minutes.
And they're talking for 10 minutes. Everyone's outside, clearly just like waiting for them to come back. And they're talking, and you're going to turn this club into just tennis. And he's like, if you would have just opened the gift. Wait, you never got the gift. Oh my God, I still have it in my bag. Here's the gift. And she opens it, and it's a shirt that says Hollis Letts Academy. We were going to run this together. We're in this together. Okay, we love each other. Let's go out and win this game.
Shirts that they're now walking out with.
So they go out, and in like the final point of this match, they're talking back and forth as the rally's going. Like, they'll hit a ball and having this conversation.
I have to tell you something.
I have to tell you something. They put this ball up. the rival hits a winner and is like, yeah, and like coming around to the crowd, and then Adler goes, I guarantee you it's a football. And then the Pick TV goes, kitchen violation, foot fault. Letts and Hollis win the championship. And then it's like this celebration. And fast forward, then they get the club and all of this thing. They show you the club. It used to be Sandy Lake Racket Club. Now it's Hollis Letts Academy. And Miss Letts is talking to a client. They go, hurry, Luke, he fell on the pickleball court and needs your help. And she's like, what? Oh my God, I'm coming right away. and Adler goes, he's going to propose. And I go, you think so?
Matt's like, wait, what's happening? Is he okay?
And so she goes out. He's curled down, holding his knee, and there's a pickleball that opens up with a ring inside. And she goes, yes, I'd love to marry you happily ever after. Movie over. It was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
Spoiler, guys. Sorry if I hope we didn't spoil it for you. But the other thing too is every point that was played, they're sitting there in the transition zone. Every player is in the transition zone. Yeah. Like hitting pop-up balls, rigid, awkward, like not one normal looking point.
Wait, the funniest part of the movie, or one of that wasn't intentionally funny and made no sense. So Luke and Miss Letts are both essentially employees of the club, right? She's the pickleball instructor, and he's like the owner's son that's trying to like
the prodigal son
be at the club. So these two players that are going to be in the tournament that are members of the club that signed up for the tournament, they said they booked this court that they're on training, right? And they're like, oh, we'll play you for it or something like that. But first they go, oh, tell these clowns to go to the other court.
He said that.
Yeah. So Luke and the girl are like just insulting these two members of the club like that would never happen. Never. And then they challenge each other and all of the things. But what a horrible movie. I made pickleball look bad.
So again, and Blake Rutledge, who is the director, and I've met a couple times, nice guy, very good pickleball player, I believe.
Okay.
I'm not, I'm sure your hands were tied to a degree, but I think you, as a director, you want to make sure that the set and everything's looking good and be true to the game.
I will say though, like
tough.
Anyone who's a pickleball player that watched that is going to be so frustrated that they're going to finish watching that movie and talk about it, and maybe that was the goal of it.
Go watch it.
So look, the movie was not good. Okay, the movie was horrible. All right, but since it's our first movie review,
we're going to establish a scale.
We're going to establish a rating system and a scale, and it's going to be a McNasty rating, which is going to be similar to Duper, right? We know our Duper scale.
Go up to 6.0, we'll say.
Yeah, 6.0 will be that pro level. We can even go above. We can go to 7.
We need to know what's the max.
Max is going to be 7.
Okay.
Max is going to be your Ben Johns 7.0.
Okay.
Your low is obviously, your low.
I don't even know how low Duper actually
We'll
goes.
start it at 2.
Okay.
We'll start it at 2.
Fair.
Someone that
2
just
to 7.
picked up a paddle.
Okay.
Like the woman Letts who's supposed to be the coach, but she's a 2.0 player. For this movie, my personal rating on it is, so it's not a 2. It's obviously above that. First of all, they took the time to make a movie about pickleball. It's on a national scale. That gets some points on its own. Mm-hmm. Did not live up to a 4.0 for sure. It's in the 3s. I'm going to give it didn't hit that level of 3.5. They're not getting close to the kitchen line. It is a 3.4. It's just below. It didn't hit on so many levels. It bothered me. There was some funny moments, but it's a 3.4, and that's where we're going.
Man, all right. So that's establishing Matt's kind of scale.
Yeah.
I was going to say 2.9, but maybe that's a little too harsh. I'll give him a 3.1. Because, again, I got to give credit. If you're making a pickleball movie, you're doing something. There were a couple moments that were okay, but in general, I just thought they could have done a lot better.
I agree. So you got that 3.4, 2.9. Some would say Adler's level.
If you add them together, yeah, you're right.
Right. So I think that leads us into our next segment, the brick of the week, right? The things that we don't agree with. And in this case, since it's the year-end wrap-up, or we're at the end of the year, I want to touch on the schedule. I think for the PPA, MLP, I think it's improved every single year, but it's just too many events. The fact that we're even having to recap an event 4 days before Christmas, that the players have gone nonstop from early January all the way till a week before the new year. That's way too long of a schedule. It's every single week. There's MLP now for 2026, which will be stacked in the middle of the season from May to August, right? So I think you maybe have one PPA event in that, but it's really consistent May through August where you end in New York. But still, there's too many events. And I think when I look at the schedule, even as a broadcaster, and then also as a fan, I want to know when I really want to tune in and when it's important.
The big events.
The big events.
Yeah.
When do the players have to peak? Where can they take some time during the year to maybe work on some things? And right now, there's not really a differentiation between this Holly Hill event and another one. And I don't like that. And even the slams need to feel huge. And I'm okay if you take some production value away from the smaller events to make these other ones elevate, right? Like a Holly Hill to me doesn't need maybe TV production. It doesn't need a VIP center court, right? That could be like, I feel like some of your smaller events could feel like a challenger, but then your bigger events really elevate and you have 4 of them that all feel like Worlds. Like Worlds shouldn't be this one-off event. You should have that 4 times a year where the players really get up, really get hyped, the fans get excited. Then you sprinkle in another 6 or so events that are just below that, and then the other ones are normal. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is one of those things we don't really know what's going on behind the scenes in terms of establishing pickleball as a sport, getting TV ratings, trying to monetize this new industry and business, and so they're overdoing it, and it's oversaturated. I'm sure the players would agree. So hopefully they will figure that out. But I think the players and even the fans probably agree. Like, let's really kind of narrow this down a bit and prioritize certain things. So I would agree.
And I think you'll see, hopefully in 2026 with some of the new contracts. And I don't know, did we touch upon that in the last episode or no, about the money? And
yeah, well, we talked about why it might have been someone like Vivian Glausman didn't, care.
Because now they're really going to be playing for stakes, right?
Prize money,
their prize money will indicate which events are more important. There's going to be more on the line. I think you'll feel that from the players. There's not guarantees now. They need to show up at the big events to win the big money to pay for their lifestyles. So you should feel that. And I hope that's the case in 2026. Yeah, it'll be very interesting.
I think it would be interesting if they could just really consolidate the season and not make it like you have to do X amount over the course of a year, but rather, 6 months of the year, this is your schedule, like an NBA season or an NHL season in 6 months.
And I think for the fans, you want to have a part of the season where they miss pickleball. Right? Like you want to have 2 months or 3 months where like, oh, fuck, I haven't seen Ben play yet. I wonder how they're going to come back from this time off. Who's going to be the most improved? I miss seeing the biggest stakes. Not, okay, well, I saw them win Worlds and this was an unbelievable event. And then a week later they're playing in somewhere else. And it's like, okay, well, this is the exact same people we just saw at Worlds. They're all the same event. What's different?
Every weekend. Yeah, every weekend there's something. And then you've got the MLP, which is just a completely different format.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get eventually to a point where they'd have home and away games. So, there's actual people, like fans can root for their local star. But right now the contracts are such that people become free agents and keep moving. So they're figuring it out. This is really good feedback from a respected voice in the business, and Matt too. But no, I think those are really good points. Hopefully the prize money will incentivize people in a different way, and we'll see, tournaments with higher stakes versus a lot, which all seem to have similar stakes.
If we switch topics here, go to a little news or forecasting what may happen in 2026. I want to touch on sponsors in the sport. Maybe I have behind the scenes access. Maybe I know things that others don't, but I think a lot of people do know things like an Anna Leigh contract is up. Okay, that's up now. She's the biggest name in our sport. Who is she going to go with? Is there a sponsor or brand that isn't in pickleball that should come into pickleball? If there was one, what would you say she should go with?
Oh man, are we talking like what I would?
Or do you just want me to go on my rant and tell you?
Go on your rant.
In Dallas, people, it's very common knowledge, especially the top end of the sport, in tennis as well. You know when the biggest players in the world, when their contracts are running out with their paddle racket companies, their clothing sponsors, their shoe sponsors. It's a big deal. The main categories, right, if you're a pro pickleball player, is going to be what? Your paddle, your clothing and shoes. That's pretty much it, right? Those are huge categories that are going to be behind you and sponsoring you and promoting you every step of the way. So for Anna Leigh, she's the biggest star in our sport. And now she moves away from Octagon earlier this year. She's with Vayner Sports, Ryan Harwood of Gary Vaynerchuk, Vayner Sports Media and Sports Entertainment. Everyone knows that her FILA contract runs out at the end of this year, which was a huge deal for her when she got it years ago, right? I don't know the numbers of that deal at all. Yeah. But she's the face of our sport.
And she's young.
And while I was in Dallas at Worlds, it was rumored that there was various companies in attendance looking at Anna Leigh Waters to sponsor her in 2026 and beyond. Now, I saw some people that I know there that worked for various companies, a la Nike and others. No one's told me, honestly, a thing if Anna Leigh is going to be signed by them. You can only speculate. But in my estimation, anticipation, what I think should happen for her, what I think should happen for the sport, my guess is that Nike comes into the sport in 2026. And if they do, I think they would be very smart to saddle their bags or their horse or however you want to say it, anchor their weight to an Anna Leigh Waters.
We should ask Doug because he was in Nashville. He became a cowboy. So
That's
saddle
true.
their bags. I don't know.
I don't know if that's the phrase, but I think
Nike's huge. That's amazing.
Nike is huge.
Would they be designing shoes, or they just want to get their name?
I don't know. I don't know because you saw them come in with shoes a year or two ago. They made a shirt or two. Very like, I think let's test the waters, see if the pickleball community responds. I think what they found, and again, this is speculation on my end, is that the culture of pickleball isn't going to accept someone just putting pickleball on a shoe and saying, okay, we put pickleball on a tennis shoe, now we're going to buy it. No, the pickleball culture, the pickleball fan, the pickleball player, they see through that. They want
quality.
They want quality, sure, but they want something that is organic and natural and real to the sport. Okay. Right? They want someone that's invested, and they don't want just someone slapping a label on it.
Got it.
And I think Nike realized that okay, the culture is different in pickleball. We need to invest into it. We need to create our own culture. We need to create maybe a line of shoes that's different. We need to attach it to a player, and we need the pickleball player and fan to feel like we are fully invested in this,
even if it's just like spiritually or as a game, not
because
apparel.
Right, every sport has their culture.
Right,
and you need to feel it and live it to make someone believe that. Adidas got into the sport. Right. They made a paddle with Federico Staksrud. That didn't go well. He went back to Yola. Adidas realized, like Nike, I don't think Nike's going to make a paddle. They got out of hockey skates way back in the day with Sergei Fedorov. That was a very short window. They got out of golf clubs very quickly after Tiger. So they're on apparel and they're on shoes. That's their bread and butter. They're not really going to go into the hard goods market. That's never been their world. They realize that's hard.
About a ball.
What?
What about a ball?
They're not going to do a ball. Lifetime has the ball. Okay.
All right.
Stop interrupting me. So Adidas realized we can't just make a shitty paddle and give it to a pro or two, and people are going to really think that we're invested.
Right.
And then now they made a good paddle, and they said, we're going to sign CJ Klinger. We're going to sign Jaume Martinez-Vic. We're going to sign Mari Humberg. And we're going to really invest and make things that are different. We're going to make clothing that's not just an Adidas shirt putting pickleball. We're going to have graphics that really symbolize what pickleball means. We're going to create marketing, advertising, content that is pickleball, that's from reliable sources in the world and voices that reflect that culture. So I think my estimation for 2026 is that Nike comes in. I think if they're smart, they go with their gut and sign Anna Leigh Waters to a huge deal. I think she shows up to Palm Springs in a full Nike get out.
Oh, right.
I think she triple crowns, and I think they have a massive campaign that we are in pickleball. We have our star. She's here to stay. We're here to stay. Nike Pickleball. Have a good night. And they take over the sport in a major way.
In a month, like
Yes.
next month. Wow.
Yes.
All right. That's a bold prediction, but hey, Matt he's got some connections and some instincts.
It's my insight. Look, they were at Worlds. I think they probably care. I think Anna Leigh would be the perfect person to go with.
Sure.
And why not now? The sport is about to explode. It is exploding. It's about to explode in Asia, is my point.
Yeah.
And globally, Nike's a global brand. And the demographic of pickleball is going down, right? We're getting younger and younger people involved. Nike cares about the women's side of things. Anna Leigh is a star. She's a woman. Okay. She's young.
Yes.
She relates to the TikTok era.
She's the past, present, and future of the sport.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think, selfishly, for us on Certified McNasty, for everything that we all do in this sport, to have Nike, a major brand, coming into the sport would be huge.
Certainly can't hurt.
It would be the tide that raises all ships. Yeah. And I think it would give a lot of credibility to the sport that maybe hasn't been there before, because we haven't had a huge brand like that come in and put their marketing dollars behind it. So my hope is that something like that happens. And if it doesn't, maybe, who knows, maybe they didn't find what they needed at Worlds, but my hope is that they did.
I just think it's amazing that like 4 years ago, we were hoping, that there was prize money in a tournament, a Moneyball, whatever. And there was a tour that was formed. And now we're talking about, Adidas is already in the sport. Head, you've got these huge brands, but wait, Nike. We want Nike. And it's like, how much is it going to take before people actually take this sport seriously? But that will be a huge feather in the cap.
That would be a huge feather in the cap. And for her, look, if it happens for her, that would be massive for her, right? To be on a roster of athletes, stable of athletes that include
Tiger.
Jordan, Tiger, the Alcarazes of the world, the Sabalenkas of the world. Imagine those types of things. And for me, when I think I put on my marketing cap, you have Andre Agassi, who is a Nike ambassador, has been for his entire life, other than a short stint with Adidas, who's going to be playing in the Battle of the Sexes in April against who? Anna Leigh Waters on the other side of the net. So you have this generational push and pull. You have this Battle of the Sexes, push and pull, guy against girl, the young phenom coming up. And maybe Nike's at the center of it. Maybe they're not, but I hope they are.
Listen, that would be amazing.
If not, they should listen to that take.
Yeah, there you go.
No, that was a good take. And also, Paddle Tech, she plays with Paddle Tech, and they're now merging with Pro XR.
Right.
So that's
I've heard rumors that she's leaving Paddle Tech, but that doesn't make sense. I thought she was signed a lifetime deal with them, but you never know. A lot of people talk.
Yeah,
we're talking, but it's all speculation.
That we are. Wow. Yeah. No, that was a good hot take, and I hope that happens for everybody's sake. Yeah. We love to do a little Ask the Professor section, and as someone who's starting to play more singles again, I used to play a lot of singles, now not as much, but it's talked about sometimes whether or not there should be a difference in size, whether that means shrinking the singles court down a little bit or perhaps widening or lengthening the doubles court. What do you think? Do you think that there should be a difference there?
Singles, it's very interesting. I mean, I think the singles court is fine the way it is. Like, as we know, when we play singles, there's a lot of room to cover. I know the court doesn't look that big, but once you get out there, it is absurd and very aggressive and violent with the movements. The doubles court, I wouldn't mind it being a little bigger. Just a little bit bigger. Okay. I think as these athletes are coming in and everyone's so big, you have the Roscoe Bellamy's of the world. Yeah. These guys are massive, taking up so much space. I still think there's space to be found, and maybe that's what rewards players with such skill, that they can find space on such a small court. but it would be interesting to widen it just a little bit and have that difference. Not lengthen.
Okay.
Not lengthen.
Yeah, it would make it tougher to get that third in and get to the kitchen right away.
Yeah, not lengthen.
Change the sport.
But look, I think the sport's pretty good the way it is. I think it's very, very difficult the way it is. I think we're scaling back on the paddles. We're figuring out the ball. We're figuring everything out that makes it right for TV. But it is a good question because obviously tennis is the way it is with the doubles alleys and a singles court. But totally different sports. It's a good question. Great question. I think there's a lot of people that have been debating that. For me, I'm a purist. I like the way it is right now. And singles certainly don't touch it. I mean, the courts, you don't need to make it smaller. I think that would make it too easy.
Yeah.
It's great the way it is. Doubles, could try it out. Maybe we do a little test tournament. But
by the way, getting on the tennis court a couple times with you recently, and you're looking good. You've been playing a lot or hitting a lot. Holy, it's so massive.
So massive. But once you get in the rhythm of it,
it doesn't
feel that way, and it's not as violent because you get some of this time to hit and see where the ball is going and set your feet.
You do have a lot more time in tennis.
Yes, yeah.
Pickleball's rapid fire when you're all up at the kitchen.
For sure.
Not to say it's, again, better or more athletic or anything.
Yeah.
Obviously tennis. But you think the ball's going to be, you're not going to have as much time. You have plenty of time to prepare
and you potentially have time to, with a backhand slice, you can kind of ease your way and take time, get back in the point, right? Yeah. Where in pickle, especially in singles, I can't just leave a ball and float and set my feet again. I'm gonna be
No, but
destroyed.
What is interesting is I've been playing with a guy who was an awesome tennis player, played at USC, who's learning pickle, and the one thing he hasn't learned yet is when to drop a ball. Because that's when if you are on the run in singles, obviously you drop a ton in doubles, but people never really think about dropping in singles. But if you can learn that, you can reset and buy yourself time, and I think it's a big level jump when
especially if you can do it with some topspin. Right, not just a dead ball from the third, which I think is like what makes these guys like Hayworth on the run. He's able to especially on the backhand side, he's way out of position and he's kind of floating this third that has a little bit of spin, and now it makes the opponent have to make a decision. Like they can't just have time up there; it's still moving away from them. Which in that match against Gabe Joseph, I think was a huge difference maker. Yeah, no, you're 100% right.
Yeah, I mean it's fun to talk about this stuff, and it's interesting to play across these multiple sports. Which, by the way, we are hoping at Santa Monica Pickleball Center that we are going to have you. That
would be awesome. I need to figure out my serve though in tennis. It's hard.
Pickle, tennis, and padel.
My serve is not what it used to be. Yeah. Well, I'd love to.
Certainly, you could do pickle and paddle.
Yeah, and I'm playing good tennis. I just got to get my second serve down. Make sure
you only get
consistent.
One serve in PTP.
Right, exactly. So it's going to be a second or a slow first.
Push it in there.
That's right.
Yeah, we'd love to have you though.
All right. Well, we've gotten to the portion of the show where we do our certified snack of the week, and I'm a little bit tired. Getting towards Christmas time, and
why are you talking like that?
I don't know. He might pick me up of Celsius, which I actually like. Not sponsored. Would love to be an ad. I wish it were. I love Celsius. I drink Celsius all the time, which I don't know if it's good for you. There's a lot of caffeine in here. Are you a fan of Celsius?
I think I have to try it. What flavor is that?
This is Celsius Live Fit Retro Vibe, which is a sparkling sherbet slush. Little quiz here. How do you spell sherbet?
Sherbert.
Wrong. That is wrong.
Is it sherbet?
It's sherbet.
Oh, no R at the end?
Yes. Sherbet. You have failed our little trivia question.
Can you ask that question one more time?
Jason, how do you spell sherbet?
Exactly. There's the giveaway. He said, how do you spell sherbet?
Right.
Because that's what we say, sherbet.
Why do we say sherbet when it's
sherbet?
Sherbet. Anyways.
Oh, man, I'm not taking a sip of that now. How is it?
So good. Dude, it's tastes fake, but it's so good. And it tastes fake, but also tastes clean. Are you gonna waterfall it? Waterfall.
You guys shared a bed last night.
You just put your mouth on it. Retro vibe.
Retro vibe.
You don't
waterfall it. I don't want you to touch your lips. What a gross human.
It's such a good. The hand-eye involved.
That was good.
It's sweet. It's very sweet.
I think it's great, and for only 10 calories, to satisfy a craving, to get a little bit of energy, which is great before a pickleball match. I think it's perfect. And that's why I choose Celsius Retro Vibe. Available in all your flavors. Why did I turn into a leprechaun?
Like, you're like Sandler or something. Yeah.
Dude, Celsius for me is a 6-2.
Wow.
Because it's hit the pro game. The taste is there. It gets me amped to go play. I think it's semi-clean. The only reason it gets that 6.2 a little bit lower than a 7 is because I know it's not completely clean, right? Like water would probably hit it a little bit better, or just straight up electrolytes. But for what this is a 6.2 McNasty certified snack.
All right. Fair enough. I don't know if you guys want to hear my rating because I just took one sip, but I would be curious to try some other flavors. I would say it's in the low 5s for me.
Okay.
Low 5, which is a very good score.
You're showing up to open play at low 5s, feeling like you're probably like king of the mountain.
Certainly better than Doug.
Well, Patrick played at Larry Gordon's house. Famed producer Larry Gordon. He's 89 years old, turns 90 in March.
Legend.
Movies like Point Break,
Get out of here.
Boogie Nights, Lethal Weapon.
Damn, those are 3 of my
Die
favorites.
Die Hard 1 and 2.
48 hours.
So
Holy
yes,
cow.
so Larry Gordon is one of the biggest producers. I believe he was a president at Fox Studios as well for a little bit. But in Brentwood, he has 2 lots. One is for his production, offices and house and screening room and pickleball court. And the other is his actual main home. And him and his wife, Dee Dee, love playing pickleball. Patrick played there the other day with some friends. I played there after him a few days later. And he was wearing his Epic hat. So we took a picture and he said all nice things about Patrick as well. And his court it's beautiful. It overlooks, it's a pretty special thing. And he's 89. He goes, how do you think I do in the 85 plus division? And I'm like, Larry, I don't think there's anyone else alive that's playing, bro. No, but I think he'd be the only one that shows up to that tournament. Maybe a few others.
I coached a guy who was playing at nationals in 70 plus singles. You just never know. There's people out there doing it.
89 years old. He turns 90 soon, and doing really well. We played for an hour and 20 minutes yesterday.
I should have come by.
Yeah.
Should have come by.
Yeah.
We'll get him in a certified hat next time.
Yep. 100%.
Cool. Man.
Well, Jason, Patrick, that was another episode of Certified McNasty. So excited to be here with you. We hope you enjoyed listening. Please subscribe, like, comment. You can listen to this wherever you get your podcast. We will be back next week with another episode. But since we're ending the year and heading into the new year, we wanted to wish you happy holidays. We hope you have a healthy, happy, prosperous new year. And get on the pickleball court, get on a tennis court, get on anything that's going to make you happy and active. And we'll see you soon.
Excellent.